Hello my dear children, hope you are all safe, fine and sound. Today we are going to discuss the new chapter list manipulation. In this chapter we are going to discuss the topics like creating and accessing the list operations, working with functions, list functions and methods. We already discussed about list function, isn't it? What is list? It is a container or it is a group of similar elements and it can hold homogeneous and heterogeneous values in a single unit. That is called a list. What is the type of list? It is mutable. That means we can change any element in a list at any place. So, the list is a mutable data type, or we can term it as a sequence of heterogeneous elements. How we can create a list using a square bracket. My dear children, we already discussed how to create a list, how to access the elements in a list. Creating and accessing the list. My dear children, look at the examples I had given. The first one is empty string. The second one is list of integers. What are the integers I used here? 1, 2, 3. How I separated the elements? Using a comma operator. How I enclose the list element? Using a square bracket. Then another one is list of integers and float. That means what? List is a heterogeneous sequence. That means there is no need to have similar type of elements in a list. The next one, red, green, blue. That is a string type list. Then another one is a mixed values, and the last one is a list of characters. So my dear children, we can create a list either with homogeneous elements or with the heterogeneous elements. How to create? This is the syntax I had given. That is list name, that is an identifier, that is equal to a square bracket, or you can enclose values. If it is a string value, we need to put that value in a single inverted comma or double inverted comma. Then the above construct is known as list display construct. That is family equal to father, mother, bro, sis. Then student is equal to 1, 11, 3150. That may be the admission number. Then consider more examples with a list of functions. If you want to create long list, we can make it as a second line also. No problem. The square bracket we need to end at the second line only. That is the only difference. Then the next one is nested list. How I created the nested list? Look at that. A list within a list. We already studied nested if, nested for, nested loops, etc. What is this? This is a nested loop. A loop within a loop. And this is a nested list, a list within a list. The above code will create L with 5 elements. How many elements are there? That is 1, 2, 4, and the next one is a nested list, then 20. So there are 5 elements only. To print, if we write L of 1, it will display 2. To print 200, what we have to write? L of 3, within that the second element. That is L of 3 having sub elements like L of 3 0, L of 3 1 and L of 3 2. I'll repeat. If we want to print or if we want to use the sub element of a nested list, we need to use the outer index as well as the inner index. The inner index is for what? the inner list. That is, if we want to use 300, how to use L of 3 of 3. That is, L of 3 means what? The identifier navigates the interpreter to 100, 200 and 300. Within that 300 we need to use. So that 3 of 3. 3 of 3. Within 3 we need to get the third element. So that third index and second value. Like that it goes on. Then we can also create a list with another sequence of list. For that we need to use a function like list of function. Look at the example I had given. L1 equals list of. LIST is a function name. Within that I had used welcome. So WELCOME will be the list elements. Each will be separated with a comma. Then look at the tuple. Then if we want to create a list using a tuple, first we need to create a tuple with a single bracket. Then within that tuple we can use with the list. So tuple will be converted into list element. So L of 2 will be what? L of 1 will be A, B, C, D. So the list element, that is the tuple element, will be converted into list. That list will be assigned to L1. My dear children, these are the possibilities for creating, or these are the steps for creating the list elements. I think you are all learned how to create a list and what is the type of list, how we can store elements, like that. In depth we will discuss in the next module. Thank you.